Rising vibes. So, today I am chilling with my tree. Or the tree is chilling with me. However you look at it. Anyways, I want to talk about evolving. Okay, evolving is like your old life is like a band-aid on your skin. And when you're trying to peel off your old life and you do it in a slow way, then you feel every single bit of pain. But if you just rip it off, you feel it all, and then it'll ease and it's over with. So I know that I'm not the best at giving examples, but all right, when you're peeling it off and you start to realize that everything you thought you knew is wrong, then you start to question everything. And when you slowly do it, you slowly feel the pain because you're lowering yourself and you're going to be unevolved instead of ripping it off, feeling the pain, and taking control. Why postpone the greatest part, which is when it's over? If you're facing anything right now that feels like you can't control it, it's because inside you feel like you can't control yourself. You feel unbalanced. You feel not right. That's where you have to focus on first. It's your first step. Usually when your higher self sees you being like not you, they will, and when I say higher self, I mean universe, God, creation, your higher self, an evolved version of you waiting for you to manifest into what you're supposed to be, what your, for lack of better terms, purpose is, because we all have a purpose here. Well, it'll put you right back where you started. It'll bring you backwards until you start taking control and going forwards the right way instead of doing it how you had done it in the past, because you needed to learn something. So you get in this time loop and then you want to know, how do I get out of this time loop? How do I evolve into my greatest version? And I've got all of these things coming and attacking me. That's part of it. It's, for lack of better terms, as if you were a Christian believer or whatever, the devil's attacking you when you're trying to do good. It's yourself. You're controlling your own vibrational frequency. You cannot control what the cosmic balance comes back around. From your old to your new manifestation, but you can control how you react to it, because your reaction to it has a whole lot to do with how to evolve from it. Because if somebody comes up to you and they're just like, you know what, here's your eviction notice, you're done. If you accept that and believe that, you're just like, well, crud, there's nothing I can do. Just pack your stuff. I've never been one for that. Then again, I'm more on the purple side. So, I'm always looking at, how can I fix this? It's going to go good. It's going to work out. I know it will. And then I start putting in the effort and start believing it and letting it manifest into something that, I want. Now, when you have some other people in your lives during this manifestation period, it might make it rough, because you're going to want to be away from everybody, because you're trying to control your own vibrational frequency. And then you think of stuff and you're like, I've done this and I've done that. What else can I do? I'm bored. What do you want to do? What do you want to become? Do you want to travel? Do you want to open your own clothing line? Do you want to go backpacking through, the United States or Africa or, in the Middle East, wherever, whatever you want to do? You control your vibrational frequency. You can manifest what you want. You have to believe it first. So the first thing, imagination. It's not a bad thing. It's actually key to manifestation, because when you're meditating and your subconscious is going through all these different things, your subconscious is more tapped into like the spiritual, realm. And so it can connect those things. But since we are in the material realm, we got to take it, have confidence in ourselves, knowing that it's coming. We're going to walk the line, and we're not going to let anything discourage us, because there will be things along the way that'll try to knock you down. But you got to stay strong, and you got to stand up for what you believe in and what you want to manifest, because it's becoming your greatest version is how you show people that you love them, and how you show yourself you love you, because you got to start with you first. Life's gonna knock you down right back where you started. You're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I haven't been here in like 11 years. I haven't done this in like 16 years, You'll think about it that way, and it'll start to, make you think like, what have I achieved? No, don't do that. It's more of like, all right, so that's not what I really wanted, because if it was, I wouldn't have gotten knocked down. What was my focus on? Because you got to focus on becoming your greatest version and being legit and being confident in yourself. When in the mornings when you wake up and you feel like, ugh, you'll turn on some Spice Girls and dance around, or girls just want to have fun, or you'll just, you know what I'm saying? You got to make sure every single day that you get yourself up and that you're happy and you're confident. Fake it till you make it if you got to, because it works. And it's an everyday thing. If you just quit, you're going to let yourself drop back down. That's what they're talking about. That's why it say pick up your cross every day. You pick up your low vibrations and you're like, no, I am going to have a good day. Even if your goal for the day is just to be able to relax laying on a mountaintop. It's beautiful. You guys have to try it. Or just by the beach, or you know what I mean? Maybe it's around time that you take a vacation. You take a vacation, you go on your own little walk. Go where you think you need to go. And think of what you really want with your life, because you'll start manifesting it. Because if you focus on your fears and your dreads and all those low vibrations and that depressional sequency, then you're literally keeping yourself down, and it's not your root no more that you need to work on, because you're stuck. You need to cleanse yourself. You need to reevaluate yourself. You need to look at yourself and everything you don't like every single day. Pick one and change it. I have manifested a lot since I have realized this, and it has been going so great for me. It doesn't manifest as fast, and sometimes it manifests faster than I think. It's just more on like the cosmic balance. So be true to yourself and don't bring yourself down no more. Quit. Rip the Band-Aid off. Rip it off. Let everything come at you. Stand strong, because one man can take on an entire army if he's right and confident in himself. And a woman can take on an entire world. I'm just kidding. We could take on an entire army too, if we're confident in ourselves. Once you realize that it's got nothing to do with all these worldly things that we were thinking about, and everything to do with the spiritual manifestation of everybody's, cosmic karma and cosmic balance and star charts and, retrogrades and all this other stuff. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, Mars in retrograde, don't do nothing. No! Perception! I have taught about this too. Perception. It's all about how you see it. It's like, okay, well, I'm about to be able to reflect on what I've done, and if I want to change anything after the retrograde is the perfect time. Or I could start doing it, so then after the retrograde, it's, it's muscle memory. There's not a better time than right now for you to get out of the matrix, become the best you can be, and quit dealing with everybody else's cosmic karma. Because you attach yourselves to them by not forgiving them. Like I said, forgiveness, like a scissor, cut it off. Just let it drop. And then it's no longer holding you down. You're a helium balloon floating instead of one that's tied and anchored down, that can explore the universe. Because you've been taught and limited yourself, and then everybody else around you can control your vibrational frequency if you let them, because depending on what they're feeling can overpower what you're feeling. Like if you ever feel like somebody around you, their anger it makes you angry, or their crying makes you want to cry and you can't control it, it's because your vibrational frequency is lower and there's a little bit higher, so you feel it. It's the chi energy in the room. There's the energy with the auras and everything else. And you could start to learn how to read people and to control every, aspect of your perception. Because once you control your perception, you can control your vibrations. But you have to start looking at everything beautiful. I'm like, couldn't be a better background's better than 4 white walls. Or 4 gray ones. Brick. I'm sitting out here, and this part of my nature, as I say, is just a piece of, a park in Colorado. But to me, it's pure freedom. You feel the warmness on your face. You can still hear the birds. Instead of looking at it like, oh, there's houses over here, there's a neighborhood over there, there's snakes in the garden, you know what I mean? It's your perception. And then you start to feel good about it. You ever been somewhere and you weren't comfortable, and then you took your mind off of it, and next thing you knew, this was fun. Like the first time you rode a roller coaster, when you no longer had that fear of falling out. Or the first time you'd ride a bike and you would think that they were holding on and your training wheels are off, but they're holding on and you're going, and then you realize they're not holding on no more and you fall because you took in your mind from I could do this to oh my God. The second you figure out what you're doing, it kind of pauses. It's kind of like a shadow. When you turn around and look at your shadow and you move, your shadow moves. But if you're chasing your shadow, you're running forever or until the sun goes down. So start to realize what is yours manifestations, what are others' manifestations, and what you want to achieve. And I'm telling you, it's amazing. I wish that you could see how I was before. If it wasn't for my twin flame, I wouldn't be the way I am right now. He helped me evolve into being my greatest version by kicking down these huge cinder block walls that I put up around myself because I had gotten hurt in every which kind of direction. Because my vibrational frequency, when I went through something very devastating, it knocked me down to feeling like a victim. And so I built these walls up like, ain't nobody ever in any way gonna ever hurt me again, because nobody could get in. But I was blocking my own self and keeping myself from manifesting this great life. And my twin flame, he came along and he just kicked the walls down. And then he started talking to me like I get it, but stop. Don't talk about your past. Don't talk about the negative. You're forbidden to talk about the negative. And I was like, well, then how am I going to work through it? And then he would, which it was his way of doing it, and it worked perfect. He would make jokes about the situation, even though, you know, most people would be like, why would you joke about something like that? He would do it in a way where it made it, where I would visualize, you know, a funny version of something that wasn't what exactly happened to me, but it was good to laugh at. So start manifesting what you want and be confident in yourself, and everything will fall into place. I am leading by example, and please make sure you comment and share and let me know what you want me to talk about, because I wanted somebody to be able to answer questions when I was going through it. And Ralph Smart from Deep Infinite Waters, he was the start of my journey, but my journey was far bigger than that. And if it wasn't for him, I don't know where I'd be either. He's definitely living a great life and inspiring millions to become vegans, and I think it is magnificent, and he is the reason why I'm a vegan. But anyways, I wanted somebody to be able to answer certain questions for me, and I'm a woman and he's a man, and I'm a different type, you know, of vibrational frequency. And then the other women on it, when I would watch their videos to try to understand, would seem just way too dreamy and way too, you know, like, just get to the point, be real. Like, if that's real you, that's awesome. But it's not answering what I need. And so I was seeking my own answers. I was taking my own advice. And I sat down and I decided that this is what I'm going to do. And I started manifesting it. So it works. It's real. And I'm here to show you by example. And when my book gets published and then a bunch of people start sitting here and wanting to, you know, catch up on all of this vibrational frequency, it's already going to be at the point that they're going to be like, oh, well, she's got it all figured out and she got everything she needs. But what about somebody like me that is just starting out? That's why I'm starting from the beginning and moving up. If you go back to look at my other videos, you will see that my other videos were a lot less, you know, I guess you could say you could see the light building in me. You can see the manifestation. You can see the beauty of it. It's so great. So please share what you're going through and everything else, and let somebody help you get you up and not bring you down. We're not here to medicate you, you know, like a psychologist would. We're not here to pity with you. We're here to kick you and tell you to get up, because only you can control it, and you know this. So I'm sending rising vibes your way until next time.